Hi, in this video, we will cover subject-verb agreement questions. So let's start. What is it? Subject-verb agreement requires that a subject and the verb agree in number. So, apples is different from oranges. The correct version would be apples are different from oranges. Here is the verb and apples is the subject, right? So since apples is popular, is is plural, is cannot be singular, is has to be plural as well, hence we replace it with are, and then the sentence becomes correct. On the test, so on your official SAT you are likely to see 1 to 3 questions that require you to identify and correct subject verb agreement errors in the underlined portions of sentences. You need to identify when a plural noun is improperly paired with a singular verb and a singular noun is improperly paired with a plural verb. In other words, singular subjects go with singular verbs and plural subjects go with plural verbs. So, top tip. Number 1, get rid of the extra verbs. The noun closest to the verbs is not necessarily the subject. I think this is super important point to remember. Subject-verb agreement errors can be hard to see when subjects and verbs don't appear directly next to one another. Try to simplify the sentence by eliminating any extra words or phrases that come between the subject and the verb. This will make the subject-verb agreements errors more obvious. So, the incorrect sentence is Istanbul, the most populous of all European cities, were founded in the first millennium BCE. Here, if you remember correctly, we have a non-essential clause because there's a part of a sentence which is bounded by commas at the beginning and at the end. The non-essential clause is the most populous of all European cities. Now, when you're checking for subject-verb agreement and the verb is not inside the non-essential clause, you can take the non-essential clause out of the sentence and the sentence will still make sense, right? So here the subject is Istanbul and not European cities. Since Istanbul subject is singular, the verb should also be singular. Hence, the correct sentence is Istanbul, the most populous of all European cities, was founded in the first millennium BCE. Number 2, flip inverted sentences. So sometimes the subject comes after the verb. When this happens, subject-verb agreement errors can be hard to spot. So you have to be super careful with this. If you notice an inverted sentence, try flipping the sentence so that the subject comes right before the verb. Let's see. So the incorrect version would be separating the roads were a concrete median. So this is an interesting sentence because it's harder to identify what is the subject, right? So usually subject is the main focus of the sentence or the doer of action, right? And the main focus of the sentence is the median here because median is the doer of the action, is separating the roads, right? And it's the main focus of the sentence since median is the subject. Now, since median is a singular, the verb that refers to median should also be singular. Hence, we should use a singular verb. And in this case, that verb is was. So the correct form is separating the roads was a concrete median. And obviously, when you are confused and it's harder for you to identify the subject, you can flip the subject and verb, and that will help you to identify the subject as well. So, a concrete median was separating the roads. In this case, you will easily be able to identify that concrete median is the subject. Top tip number 3: collective nouns are singular. It's easy to miss subject-verb agreement errors when collective nouns are paired with a plural verb. But remember, collective nouns, for example, family, group, bunch, are singular. Right. So the incorrect sentence is Erica's family own and operate a pet store. So here the focus is Erica's family. Family is a collective noun, even though family may have multiple people inside of them, but when we use the noun family, family is a collective noun and it is treated as a singular noun. Hence, the verb that refers to this subject should also be a singular verb, right? So the correct one is Erica's family owns and operates a pet store. Let's see an example. A Neapolitan pizza made with San Marzano tomatoes are considered more traditional than one made with any other type of tomatoes. So our first task here is to identify the subject, right? And if I think carefully, one type of pizza is being compared with all the other types of pizza which are made with any other type of onions, right? So the main focus of the sentence is pizza, right? And in this case, that is a Neapolitan pizza, right? So this is Neapolitan pizza is the subject of this sentence, right? So the verbs that are referring to this subject should also be singular because the subject is singular, right? So in that case, the only correct option is C, which is. So that's how you handle subject verb agreement questions. In the next video, we will cover another grammar topic.